Moses, my servant, is dead. Now, those are God's words. Now, we like to sugarcoat it. We like to give it the flowery words. We like to say, Moses has transitioned. Moses has gone home to be with the Lord. But when it's time to move, God said Moses is dead. It's time to move. Now, keep in mind, at the point that God is speaking to Joshua, they have been mourning for Moses for 30 days. That was the mourning period. He said, okay, enough is enough. Grieve and move on. At this point, whatever you lost, I'm going to give you time, and God has given us time. I can say personally, all of 2025, God was giving me an opportunity to grieve the loss, grieve the dream, the loss of whatever it was that God allowed to happen that I was holding on to. He did say, Carolyn, it's time to move on. You've been around this mountain long enough. It's time to move. It's time to move. But God didn't just tell or command Joshua to move. He gave him some instructions. But in addition to the instructions, he also gave Moses and Joshua promises. So what he began with Moses, Joshua has been called and commissioned and charged to carry out. When we talk about the book of Joshua, just in its general, it is a book of transition. Bishop talked about transition. God has transitioned us. It's not happening. We're in the middle of it. So we're not where we were, but we're not where God wants us to be. We're still moving. I'm not where I was, but I'm not where I need to be. So we keep moving. We are moving towards what God has for us. But what God was doing was moving the people from the place of limitation. So whatever has been hindering, limiting who you are, God has moved it. He was moving them from a place of limitation to a place of abundance, place of promise, the place God has destined for them. So in transitioning, it includes movement, but it also includes from one person to another, from one form of leadership to another form of leadership. The book of Joshua is also a book about conquest. That's important because the battles that are waged in our lives over the movement and over what God has for us, what Joshua has to do is to prepare the people to wage war, to secure, to possess what God has for them. Now, why is it that we have to fight for what God has already given us? Why do we have to fight for what God has already promised? Because we have an enemy of our soul who will do in and everything to hinder, stop, delay what God has promised and to keep us from entering into what God has for us. But what we as the body of believers, we have power and authority over the enemy. And so the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but they are mighty through God to the pulling down of strongholds. And so as we move forward, we can acknowledge and be aware that there is a battle.